Do it real quickly. Yep. Okay, so now on page 12. Oh, I'm sorry, I have the wrong page. Let me turn to my page 12. I have the projectable. I want to be on page 12. There we go. We see a page that looks like this, alphabetical order. Okay? So now what we want to do is we have words up here at the top that are in a word bank. We want to use these words and put them in the correct order from 1 to 10 on the lines. They gave us like a little mini piece of notebook paper here. So remember, the whole idea of alphabetical order is to start with the letters at the beginning of the alphabet and work all the way down to the letters at the end of the alphabet. So I'm going to read these words real quick just so we're familiar with them. I'm going to go across the rows. We have collars, straight, floppy, wade, big, drooled, dog, curly, row, and stood. And remember, sometimes the words start with the same letter, but we have to look at the second letter or sometimes even the third letter to make sure that we put them in the correct order. So, if I look at all of my choices in my word bank, which word, and you guys can see this at the top of your page 12, which word do you think is going to come first in my choices? Which word do you think is going to come first? Angelina?
Big.
Big, right. The word big, B-I-G, comes first. So you can write that for number 1. I will not be able to get the pen to work on my reader's notebook page today, but you can write the word big, B-I-G, for number 1. And if you want to put a little line through the word big, because we already used it, you can put a little line through it too. Yes, Alina?
These words are from Henry and Mudge.
They are from Henry and Mudge, exactly, because that's the story that we're using. Yes, Mrs. Fry.
Hi. You're from my friends.
Okay, I don't remember which friends you have.
Well, I have a list, but I didn't think to write, like, who was in what class.
Okay.
Goodness gracious. All right. So, let me look here as I look around.
Kaden, I would stop digging around that bag and go find your pencils out of your backpack.
Okay.
So you need to be
Taylor's
prepared.
not in here. Chloe, Natalie is not in here.
Nope, Natalie's not in here.
Carter's over there. Nessa, no. Jose.
Jose.
Okay.
Logan.
Yes.
And Angelina.
Corey.
Where's my iPad?
Carson Hoffman, are you in here?
No.
Angelina.
Angelina.
Where do I
Lucas
put
is
my
not.
iPad?
And then Derek will be going also, right?
Briella, yes. Derek.
Hold on a second, friends.
That's it, yeah.
Where's my
Jose,
iPad?
Carson, or Logan, Derek.
Can we bring my iPad?
Is she telling you to
do
bring your
not
iPad?
need to bring your iPad. You can bring your pencil. I mean, we do have materials for you, but
Yeah,
just
bring your pencil.
anyway.
Grab your pencil, take your pencil. Okay.
Come on
See you
out.
later, friends.
Come on
Okay.
out. Come on out.
All right, friends. Thank you for the pause there. Sorry for the little technical difficulties. All right, now, so we already wrote the word big for number 1. If we're putting the rest of our words in alphabetical order, which word would come next? We have collars, straight, floppy, wade, drool, dog, curly, row, and stood. Which one's going to come next? This is tricky because remember, sometimes we have to look at not just the first letter of the word, but sometimes we have to look at the first 2 letters of the word. Zayden, which word do you think is going to come next, buddy? Now, let me help you here. I actually see 2 words that start with the letter C. The letter C words are going to come next, right? I see collars and I see curly. Which one of those 2 words do you think is going to be the next in our ABC order list, Zayden? Collars?
Curly.
Do you think curly, C-U, comes before collars, C-O? Collars is going to be next, okay? So you want to write the word collars for number 2 on the line. Write the word collars for number 2 on the line. Is there any reason why you don't have number 1 now? Let's go. Come on. It's going to be your quiet time work. You have the words in front of you on your book, so you can write them looking at your book. So if I wrote collars for number 2, Then the next word would be what? What should my next word be, Gwen?
Curly.
Curly, right. So curly, C-U-R-L-Y, is going to be for number 3, okay? So we have big. Number 1, we have collars. Number 2, we have curly for number 3. And you can put a little line through those words after you write them if you want to, so that you can keep track of the words that we have already used. It helps us. We don't have to scribble them. Just put one line through them so we know we've already used them. We don't want to scribble them out, because if we scribble them and we make a mistake, it's hard to go back and see what they say if we scribbled all on top of them. Especially if we don't have an eraser on our pencil. We can't erase the scribbles, right? Okay. So now we have straight, floppy, wade, drooled, dog, row, and stood left. So, which word is going to come next in our list of alphabetical order words? We did B words, we did C words. Which word do you think is going to come next? Words that start with what, Keaton? We did B words, we did C words. What do you think would come next? Words that start with the letter... Right, words that start with the letter D. So I have drooled and I have dog. Which one of those words do you think is going to come first? Drooled or dog? Now they both start with D, so I have to look at the second letter in each word. I have an R and an O. Which one do you think is going to come first, Levi?
Dog.
Dog, right. D-O-G, dog, is going to be number 4. So write D-O-G, dog, for number 4. Hey, Kinsley, you can be writing this down in your reader's notebook, hon, if you have a pencil in your reader's notebook. D-O-G, dog, is number 4.
I forgot what is that
Number 3 was curly. You have it right here. You don't have to look at the board. You got it right there in front of you, okay? And then you don't have to keep looking up at the board. It's a lot easier. So if we've used the word dog now, we can put a little line through it so we don't need to use that one again. So then our next word in our ABC order would be what? When?
Drool.
Drooled. Yes, I have to say it that way. Drooled. Drooled would be number 5. Because D-O in dog comes before the D-R in drooled. Now, number 6. We've used big, we've used collars, we've used drooled, we've used dog, we've used curly. So these are the words we have left. We have straight, floppy, wade, row, and stood. So D, we did no A words, but we had B words, we had C words, we had D words. Do we have any words that start with E? No, can't use any E words. Do we have any words that start with F in our box? Any words that start with F? Keaton? Floppy, right. Is it just one word that starts with F? Or is there more than one word that starts with F? Yeah, there's just that one word. So we can write floppy for number 6. F-L-O-P-P-Y, floppy. And then after you write floppy down, you can put a little line through it, like we did collars and big, and drooled and dog and curly. And now we have floppy. All right. Then the words that we have left are straight, wade, row, and stood. We're down to the last 4 words. We had no A words. We did our B words. We did our C words. We did our E words. I'm sorry, our D words. No E words. We did our F. Any words that start with G? Nope. Any words that start with H? Nope. Any words that start with I? Nope. Any words that start with J? No. Any words that start with K? No. Any words that start with L? No. Any words that start with M? No. Any words that start with N? No. Any words that start with O? What about P? What about Q? What about R? Oh my goodness, we finally reached a letter. We have a word that starts with R. What word do we have that starts with R? Jamie?
Row.
Row. Very good. Excellent, Jamie. So number 7 would be the word row. R-O-W, row. like row, row, row your boat, but in this case, it's one of our vocabulary words. So remember the word row for our vocabulary word means to have things in a line or in a certain order, okay? So, we've used collars, big, row, drool, dog, curly, floppy. We're down to the last three, the final three. Who will be voted off the island? Nope, not the same thing. Straight, stood, and wade are our last three words. We just left off with R. Do we have any words that start with S? Yes or no? Yes, we do, right? We have two of them, though.
Oh.
We have straight and we have stood. So, okay, we can't just look at the S. Now we have to look at the ST. Uh-oh. They both have ST. How am I going to fix this problem? What do I need to look at next? Zayden.
Third.
I need to look at the third letter, right? So now I need to look at the R in the letter straight. I'm sorry, in the word straight. Or I need to look at the O in the word stood. Which letter comes first in the alphabet? R or O? Which one comes first, Valerie?
O.
Oh, very good. So stood, S-T-O-O-D, is going to be number 8. It has to come next. Jamie, are you writing it down, buddy? Stood, S-T-O-O-D, is number 8 in our alphabetical order list. And then you can just put a little line through that one if you want to, so we know we already did it. So then if stood was number 8, then Levi, what is number 9?
Straight.
Straight. Very good, Levi. Excellent. So number 9 would be straight. Okay, stood is number 8. Stood is number 8. Number 9 is number straight. Oh, not number straight. Number 9 is the word straight. Number 9 is the word straight. Yep. S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T spells straight. We have one word left. I think it's going to be easy to figure out which word comes next in our list. I think it's going to be easy. Somebody want to give it a try? What do you think, Alina?
Wade.
Wade, right. Wade with a W. W-E-I-G-H-E-D is our very last word on our ABC order list. Okay? You're probably thinking, Mrs. Tucker, why do I have to know how to do ABC order? Well, there's a reason why we want to know how to do ABC order, because a lot of things that we look at when we get older in school and we do more informational types of books, a lot of them are in ABC order. And it helps to be able to know the order of the alphabet so that we don't have to start at A every single time and keep flipping until we find what we're looking for in a book. Because otherwise that could take forever. Okay, so it's a good idea to have that alphabet still in our heads and remember the order of the alphabet too. Plus, when we start using dictionaries, which we will use in here, the words in the dictionary are in ABC order, but there's more than one word that starts with the same letter. So we have to be able to figure out what word we're looking for, depending on whether it's the first letter or the second letter or the third letter. So there is a reason why we learn how to use ABC order. Any questions? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay. Real quick, we'll talk about subjects and predicates before we finish up for the rest of today. So, in your reader's notebook, I want you to turn to page 14. You make this a little bit smaller so I can turn to page 14. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not talking about subjects and predicates. We're talking about articles. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do this one today. So we're not going to talk about articles today. I want to talk about articles tomorrow. So I'm going to